All right, welcome to another video. Today we're drawing a T-Rex in a spacesuit. Nothing wrong with that. Let's get going on it. Once again, starting off on this one, I actually knew from the get-go what I wanted to do. So you can see that big circle there up at the top. I really knew I wanted one of those bubble helmets. Bubble helmets are just cool. I know they're probably not the most realistic thing out there. NASA's probably moved on from the bubble helmet. But I just think they're awesome. I think they're neat. They're really kind of retro and kind of cool, so I wanted to do that. I like the absurdity of throwing a couple different things together. You've got, spacesuits with bubble helmets and then T-Rexes. That's just cool. There's a Calvin and Hobbes joke where Calvin is sitting there, you've got these dinosaurs wandering into the wilderness, and then their worst enemy appears, and it's T-Rexes and F-14s, and Calvin sits there at the end, and he's holding this plane with a T-Rex in it, and he says, "This is so cool," and Hobbes is like, "This is so stupid." And I found that there are two types of people in this world. People that think T-Rexes and F-14s are the coolest thing in the world, and people that think it's just weird and stupid, and I'm certainly more of a Calvin. I think it's awesome. I think it's hilarious, that the absurdity of it. And so I dig things like that. So going in with that theme here today. I wanted kind of this retro 50s vibe with the bubble helmet. I wanted the ray gun to kind of have that feel to it as well and just have fun with it. I could probably draw dinosaurs forever. I've got a buddy of mine I've worked with that we've done some work with dinosaurs and stuff like that. And the hardest part was him telling me, "You got to stop drawing dinosaurs now. We have all we need," because I'm never, ever done. So there he is, kind of laying in the basic shapes. You can see that the leg there kind of changed some positions as it was going on. But going in, kind of separating out the toes now. I liked the little antenna coming off of the helmet, making sure it's all working really well. Just detailing up some stuff. This one was a lot better and a lot easier. This doesn't have as much cloth to it or as much, I can leave these big flat areas of just shape going in with the body and with the tail, which I liked kind of a lot. And it's going to contrast really well with the bubble helmet and the little bits and bobs of the spacesuit that he has going on. Going into weird part about this one, you've got this T-Rex and he's kind of looking at you. And the funnest way to draw T-Rex is from the side. Their heads are very, it's got this nice, cool shape to it. So it's drawing him kind of coming at you a bit more was a bit more of a challenge, and I still kind of want to see him from this side, but it wouldn't work for this pose. So kind of foreshadowing that face going in there and getting some of the bends and some of the wrinkles going in there was a bit difficult, but I think I liked how it turned out. It was kind of neat. It also kind of, how does a T-Rex head fit into a bubble helmet? So this position, this angle certainly worked better to get it into that round bubble helmet shape as well. Going in, adding a lot of hard lines in on the T-Rex head, give him kind of a slit pupil, kind of a little menacing look to him going on there, some shading going on. You can see with the gun, it's just kind of loose, very 50s, you get the rings going around the barrel of it and kind of, you imagine kind of some funny noises that it makes as it's doing that. Nice thing about T-Rexes, you don't have to draw a lot of fingers. I got made fun of a lot at a previous job. I had drawn humans with like just 3 fingers and a thumb. It was just easier, to fit 3 of them in. But fitting 4 of them in, man, I had to make them so thin and small, and I got made fun of for doing that. T-Rexes, though, I can get away with that. Just a couple of fingers in there makes it nice. You can get those big shapes. Giving him kind of a little Buzz Lightyear kind of chest plate up into that neck ring for the bubble helmet. Love the design kind of on Lightyear. He's got that 50s aesthetic going on there. Those old-fashioned suits, I think it's really kind of neat. More detail into the head. Always going back, I'll do different things. You can see I'm kind of I'll go from one side of the page to the other with the protrusions on the bubble helmet, where I'll kind of go to the bottom of one and just kind of slide over to make sure that those lines line up. I'm not being precise on anything. You can see the circle for the bubble helmet. If I were to do some finished computer art, I'd probably go in and get a perfect circle in there for that. But this is all just drawing. This is all just for fun. So if it's a little wonky, it's a little off, I'm okay with it. I enjoy the concept and the feel of it right there. So, another trick to do, you can kind of turn the drawing upside down, look at it from different angles, and you'll see it's like, oh, wow, that circle is way off on this proportion because you're looking at it from a different angle. I know there are artists that keep a mirror with them, and they kind of look at it in the mirror, because sometimes a mirrored version of the drawing kind of shows some things that you wouldn't see. You kind of get used to it one way, and the mirror kind of shows some flaws maybe in some of the symmetry or in some of the shapes, some of the things going on. It's like, wow, that really doesn't work. I thought I had the weight down in the feet really well, but if you mirror it, you see it's like, oh, it is a little off. A trick to do real easily. It's really easy on the computer as well. You can just flip a drawing with just a left click. No, it's a right click of the button. Just mirror your image or just flip it horizontally, things like that. So this one, is coming together pretty quickly. I'm liking what's going on here. I decide, hey, I had this bubble helmet and this chest plate type of thing, but maybe we can add just maybe some boots. I certainly want to keep most of it just very T-Rex. I want the skin and the body of the T-Rex to be out there, but maybe for him, I can give him some boots. How much of this do I want to have kind of the spaciness, and how much do I want to have this big T-Rex shape? And so that balance. And I like it, it's like I've talked about in previous videos, you want big, medium, and small. And so maybe in this one, you've got the big shape being the T-Rex and the medium, small shapes being these little details of spaciness to it. If you go way spaciness, that would change the feel of the drawing quite a bit, and maybe it'd still look really cool. I decided on this one to keep 70% T-Rex, 30% space, if that makes sense. Going along with that. Showed this one to a friend of mine. He really actually enjoyed this one. I'm probably going to do some more of these. These dinosaurs in space type of thing. That's just kind of a theme that I could really dig into and have a lot of fun with. And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? Just to have fun. For me, this is what it has always been. It's just drawing silly things, some things out of my head and out of my imagination. I was surprised when I went to college and saw other people's sketchbooks. And some of them had these beautiful drawings of just, faces, pictures from magazines that they had found and then just kind of wanted to copy, and really did some beautiful, beautiful artwork. And I was like, wow, that's not what I do at all. And that was kind of the first time that I realized that what I was doing was a bit different than everybody else. I just thought, hey, if you can draw, why wouldn't you draw T-Rexes in bubble hats? That's what you would obviously draw, and everybody's got their own different thing. So you got something that makes you happy, man, draw that. I like dinosaurs. I like space stuff, so I'm going to draw it, And everybody's got their different things. Going in here now, adding the bit of the detail to the T-Rex, breaking up that big shape. So I have that big shape, that big silhouette, but I want it to be broken up within it as well. So these stripes that he has going on, some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. Some of them are even broken up with a bit of, there's that one right there that has a bit of hollow to it, or a bit, where it doesn't quite fill in all the way. Again, those bigs, those mediums, those smalls. So if I had everything just even, that would be a different aesthetic choice, but for a different type of audience. I like to have this variety to it. Breaking up, again, this big thigh area of the dinosaur with some of these stripes as well. So even within the shapes, within the head, you're going to have big, mediums, and smalls. Within this big back shape, you're going to have big, mediums, and smalls in some of these stripes. The arm is going to be long versus this thin, fingers and things like that. You just kind of, each decision, you kind of break it down further and further and further until it's just, fully designed. Which isn't to say you're always perfect at it. There's going to be tangents. There's going to be things that you look back and go, oh, I'll do that better next time. Which is fine, because you draw it next time and you just keep going with it. But overall, just heighten up that bubble helmet to finish it off. The little antenna coming off of him. This one came together pretty quickly, actually. I'm liking it a lot. This one was fun. Some of them, I get assignments. Sometimes it's like, okay, and you draw what you got to draw, and there's nothing absolutely wrong with that. But if it's just me kind of doing my own thing, I like to do something a bit wacky, a bit crazy like this. And some crags to the face, some, he's had some scars on him. Darkening up some of these lines, get that hue variety, that variance in the saturation of things, some of the darks and lights. But yeah, so this guy is kind of coming together. Some of the highlights there on the helmet. So it'd be a lot of fun to color up too. Some really cool stuff versus the background of space would be a lot of fun. Going in with him, just darkening up those stripes again. Some of them are just spots. A lot of times, even with these lines, you can go in afterward and darken it up and kind of create some of these, like on the face, some of those wrinkles on the face, because of the pencil can just go a bit darker, a bit darker, a bit darker. You can kind of create some of these things and almost sculpt it out, just create some of these creases and some of these things, break up some of those lines if you want to. Going on in there, a little bit of shading to kind of highlight the highlights on the helmet. Really going in dark on some of this one. I like to go in the bottom of it. That dark line right at the bottom of the feet really gives it a base, really solidifies what's going on down there. And then in the face, you really want a lot of contrast, the whites of the eyes versus the shadows going on around it. The more contrast you get in the face, the more it'll draw the eye. The eye can come up and kind of float around that face and then comes down the body to the tail and come back up. And, you kind of want the viewer to kind of move around like that to a good design. Going in here with the gun. Well, I think I give it a sight. As if his arms could even reach up to where his eyes could see off of it. That'd be very funny. But I like those old 50s space guns, things like that. I think it's kind of got a nice little feel to it that I enjoy. I see that in different places and really enjoy that for my own style. It feels playful. It feels a lot of fun. So yeah, there it is, the drawing of the T-Rex and the bubble helmet. And he is working out well. Thanks for watching today's drawing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom if there's something specific you want to see drawn, and maybe it'll make it into a future video.